Hi, another tutorial for today. So I'm gonna show you several tools that can be used to do the domain and subdomain enumeration. The first tool is this one, uh, Asset Finder. Yeah, and then we have the Sub Finder, and then we have the Harvester, and then we have the Sudomi, and yeah, there's another one called. So let me see, sublister. Yeah, so sublister. So we start with the sublister. Let me just repeat. Yeah, I was wrongly clicking the tab. So we will review sublister, and then followed by the subfinder, then the harvester, and this sudomi. So these tools are very useful for the information gathering, um, what do you call this, step in hacking and penetration testing. So let's start with the sublister. And by default, sublister is not installed, so you need to install it by typing sudo apt get sublister. Yeah, so something like this. Oh, sorry, install. Okay, so because I've already installed it before I start my lesson, so just to shorten the time, so sorry, supposed to be sub lister. Okay, I'm done with the installation, and now I can just type sub lister, and you'll normally need to put the d. If you don't know, you just put -h. It will tell you the command. Yeah, so we need to specify the domain. Yeah, so sublister -d, let's say just call it as maybe something like hacker1.com. It'll do the the process of gathering the information from Baidu, Yahoo, Google, and so on. Yeah, so I'll leave it running. The second tool that I'm going to show you is the tool called, let me see, I've already installed the subfinder, so I'll be using subfinder. Yeah, to use the subfinder, just type subfinder, then we normally specify the H. You also need to put the D for the domain. Yeah, so D hacker1. I'm using the same domain to be enumerated. Yeah, so just leave it like that. Takes it's gonna take a while to finish the enumeration. The third tool that I'm going to show you is the I put all of the tools, new tools, whatever new tools I've installed in a separate directory or folder called extra or extras, where I have like asset finder, subfinder, and sudomi. Yeah, and for the sublister, because it is actually part of the Kali repository, so you don't really need to do it manually. You just need to use the apt get. Yeah. So we are done with the subfinder. Now I'll show you about the asset finder. And H, yeah, we can specify the domain as well. So just put like hacker1.com. Yeah, that will also do the enumeration. And the last tool that I'm going to show you is the sudomi. Yeah. And sudomi has a very nice what do you call this feature, or features I would say here. Yeah, you can do the pseudomy against a particular domain, like for example this one, or you can generate everything. Yeah, you can also do a lot of things here. Pseudomy, just type pseudomy sh, it will tell you what can be done running all enumeration, no nmap and gobuster. So, or maybe just a simple .pseudomy -d hacker1.com. Okay. Oops. Now this is what I've also encountered. So if you have this problem, you can try to repeat this. Yeah. Sometimes it requires you to, to run this. So the first command is to export the or to give the path to the folder where the Go language has been installed, and the second one is to put a path for the Go language as well, and then the second one is actually the third one is actually to download the HTTP probe and OJ GoBuster. Okay, let's try again one more time. Okay, this should be running correctly. Now, as you can see, that pseudomy has more options and more result. Yeah. By the way, for the installation of sublister, how to actually install sublister, you can go to this, GitHub. Let me write down in notes for this. So maybe somewhere in the desktop. I'll just put it here. So this one, oops, I'll just put just call it as subdomain enumerator, and tools. So the first one is this sublister. Second one is the subfinder, and pseudomy. Yeah, we're done with the pseudomy. And did I run my subfinder? Okay, sublister. So we got 4. One more is the, so we got the sublister, subfinder, then yeah, the harvester is the last one. So asset finder, num. So we have run 4 tools. Yeah, so this is the asset finder. That's this is also a very nice one. We have already run this, and then the last thing to do is to run the harvester. This is the latest harvester. So let me just minimize this and run the harvester. So by default, the harvester is already included in Kali. So what you need to do is you need to specify the domain, which is D hacker1, for example. And you can specify the limit, like 500 queries, and you can specify the source where you can actually get the information. So for example, Google, Bing, Yahoo, Baidu. So that's the harvester. So let me just copy the link. Yeah, I forgot to put the asset finder here. This is the one. Yeah, so all of these tools are very useful to do subdomain enumeration. Yeah. So subdomain enumeration. Yeah, I supposed to put enumeration tools used for information gathering or reconnaissance. Okay, it's very useful. Yeah, you should try this. So take note on this. Yeah, and for the installation steps, please refer to the you know, provided links. Yeah, so you can refer to the manual, to the GitHub for the documentations on how to do the installation on every single tool. Okay, because it's going to be very excuse me, long video if I'm going to show you how to install it manually. Yeah, so how to install every single tool here manually. Very long time, maybe more than 1 hour, even 2 hours, because somehow they requires several files to be installed, dependencies, and so on and so forth. So I would suggest that you do the installation slowly by reading the what do you call this, the documentation on the site provided site by the author. Okay. So I think I have a problem with this, so maybe I'll just use Google to make it faster. Just put it as Google and Bing. And notice that from here, yeah, so we can refer to the, like for example, Sudomi gave me a lot of information, and you can go to the, for example, if you want to see the folder, you can just, the output, you just go to the ls output, and then 04, and then hacker1, and you can just cat http probe sorry, it's supposed to be complete path, so cat slash this one, and then put the http probe, and you can also go to the possible domain takeover, like or maybe just type subdomains and information about whether the domains can be taken over. Yeah, so not vulnerable. Okay, so more inputs from this tool, while the other tool like this, yeah, a sublister gave me a very short list, as well as other tools like subfinder, very what do you call this, short and simple. Yeah, asset finder also gave me something like this, and I don't know how come I don't get any result on this one. So I might want to go for the let's say just use Bing maybe. Yeah. Oh, table already exists. Let's try something else. So let's say um, just another domain. I have the same problem. Table already exists. Okay, so let's see. hacker1.com, then maybe you can put like a limit 500, and then the DNS server maybe 8.8.8.8, and then the B source will just trying to search Google again. Somehow the harvester does not actually give me any result, perhaps because Google blocked it. Yeah, just wait for a while, see if what happened. You might need to try again to get the result from the harvester. Yeah. You can also specify the file name. Yeah, so I don't get anything. um, I'm not really sure on this, so let's try again. Maybe we can put like B Google, then we can put the file name, let's say uh, my output HTML, because it actually takes the result to the specific HTML file. Now, if you don't get any result, most likely because Google block your query. Yeah, sometimes it happens. So one way is to actually use maybe VPN. Yeah, let me just try to use the VPN. If I don't get any result, yeah, so let me enable my VPN. Okay, so let me run my VPN. And we will try this again. Very simple command without the output. Yeah, now I got something. Yeah, so yeah, it was actually because I remember that in my previous tests, I remember that the harvester was actually the query by harvester was actually blocked, or they were blocked by Google. Yeah. So one way to actually fix the problem is by using VPN, so that it will appear that you're actually coming from different part of the world. Okay. So we got only one several hosts here. Yeah. Not too much. Yeah. Not too many. All right. So that's all for the tutorial. Very short tips and tricks. And remember that we can actually go to this, to the intended website to do, to know more about the tools. Yeah. So each tool will give you different results. Yeah. Okay. So sublister, the subfinder, Sudomi, asset finder, and the harvester. Okay. All right. See you in the next tutorial.